Alright, I'm back at Poods, this time for a different reason. Rooney commented on a video I posted before asking for tips on kickflip manual. I never thought I would try to do a trick tip video, and if it's not a trick I'm very confident and comfortable with, I wouldn't even consider it, but he kind of inspired me to want to do this, so Rooney, shout out to you. I've looked up trick tip videos on this before. There's not a lot out there, and it seems like the common trick tip thing where it's just like if you can do part A and part B, put them together, that's the trick. And I think there's a lot more that goes into it, so I'm going to break it down into 3 different focuses. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is trust the kickflip. If you have a manual pad that you're comfortable on, like this size is very mellow, you should be able to manual it pretty much every try, and then you should be able to comfortably kickflip up it. So when I say trust the kickflip, I mean when you roll up, you shouldn't even have to think that much about the kickflip. The kickflip should be something that you know you're going to put your feet on and that it should go well. Even if it doesn't, you should be trusting that it will, and your focus should just be slightly dipping that back shoulder down to catch it in manual. You should never be second guessing the kickflip. I think if you're second guessing the kickflip, it's going to make this process a lot more difficult. Focus 2 is thoughts when rolling up. So for me, I've learned when doing manual tricks, you can have a lot of scattered thoughts when rolling up to the manual pad. You could be checking your feet, making sure your feet are in the right spot for kickflip, or are you too far down? Are you too far up? Is the flick going to be weird? Are you going to catch it? Is it going to primo? Are you going to get in a manual and slip out? Are you going to get in a manual at all? And you rifle through all of these thoughts. And I've learned personally, for me, it was a very big shift in my ability to do some tricks, is that if I just think about one simple part of the trick as I'm rolling up, it makes the trick easier. So in this one, with it being a kickflip manual, I'm already trusting the kickflip. So the kickflip's going to be fine. So I'm only thinking about manual as far as like leaning back. So I'm set up for the kickflip. I'm not worried about my setup because I know my foot setup is fine. I'm only thinking about the manual. The connection between your mind and your body will, for me at least, make my back shoulder start to slightly lean back and set me up for the manual. And focus 3 is going to be patience. It's really easy to get frustrated, especially on manual tricks, and to expect it to kind of come together quickly, when the reality is sometimes it just takes continuous tries until something clicks. It can vary for everyone and how much you can kind of adjust. There's some people who can get into a manual and have a pretty good wiggle room of adjustment, and then there's some people who have to get into a manual and be in one centered point, and that's the only way they can hold a manual, which is going to make the kickflip in harder, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. So you have to have the patience and the trust to just keep trying until it finally clicks, and then your body weight will get to the right point. So as long as you're trusting your kickflip and you're mentally thinking about just the manual as you're rolling up, putting that together and having patience to continually try will yield great results. All right, so now that I've gone over the focuses and I've shown, clips of each kind of individual part, let's just go through the whole thing a bit more in depth. So I'm going to start with manualing it. So now that we know that that part is simple enough, we're just going to kickflip onto it. Now, even though that was pretty much a rocket flip, it still is a confident kickflip on top of the pad. So I don't stress how good the kickflip is. I'm just going to do a few more just to settle in. That way I'm letting my mind know the manual part is comfortable, the kickflip part is comfortable. Something you can additionally do when getting comfortable with the kickflip, and it will set you up for how you want to approach the kickflip manual, is you can even test different speeds and find where your comfort is like the highest at. So I'm going to try one fairly slow and see what I can get away with, and then try one a bit faster. I'll even speed check it down. Let's try one going faster. Good. So the slow one worked. I had to kind of push it forward a bit, and then the fast one was kind of rocket, which, like I said earlier, not that big of a deal. So I think a nice middle ground speed would suffice. So I'm going to do a kickflip up at a nice middle speed and then start doing it into manual. So now I know that the speed I want is good, the kickflip is good, the manual is good. So going into the manual, I'm just going to confidently kickflip and then think about the manual, which should shift my shoulder back. And this part is where the patience is going to come in, because you want to keep having confidence in that kickflip, and every try isn't going to, go the way you expect. Oh. Oh. So the last try was a prime example on focusing on the manual and trusting the kickflip, because the kickflip kind of whiffed, but I still trusted it. It flicked fine, and I was still able to get into the manual. It wasn't a great one, but you're going to have ones like that. You're going to have ones that start to slip out, or where you're just not far enough back and you're leaned forward. But the key is that you trust the kickflip every try, and that the manual will come. It's also good, if things aren't going your way, to just go back to the first steps. Get a manual, get a kickflip, and since you've got that confidence back, you can go back to just focusing on that manual. So even when I'm turning up here, I'm having my feet already set up, so it's no longer a big factor. I'm only thinking of the manual. So that other manual pad I was just at got a bit hectic. It's coming over to this one. It's a bit taller, but I still have the same comforts on it. Manuals are fine, kickflips are fine. Whoa! Woo-hoo! There we go. All right, I just want to close out touching back on the third focus, which was patience. And what's related to that is, with having the manuals confidently, the kickflip up confidently, and using those other factors should reduce the level of fear, to where you're not worried about all the worst case scenarios. The more you relax your mind and focus on those things, you shouldn't be thinking about worst case scenarios, foot setup, am I going to get in the manual, will the kickflip be good? You're already trusting all those, so the fear should be greatly reduced, if not completely gone. Have manuals confident, kickflips up confident, trust the kickflip every try, even if it goes wrong. I pre-mowed one of these and got out of it. It's bound to happen, but you have to continue to trust the kickflip. And when you're rolling up, think of the manual, which should cause the shift in your back shoulder, and then just have patience. You're going to have to try continuously. Sometimes you'll have to go back to square one, do your manual, do your kickflip again, and then just go back to the same focuses, and then eventually it's going to click. You're going to catch it properly, and the more you do that, the less you'll worry, and all those same parts of the focus are elevated, and you'll just have that higher confidence. And the higher the confidence is, the more likely it is that you do the trick. So I hope this was helpful. Feel free to comment if there's something else you've seen me routinely do that you'd like me to break down, and I'll see you guys on the next one.